time. Good afternoon and welcome. I love to brew coffee, that's why I'm here. As a brewer, my goal is simple: introduce more people to coffee brewing. However, that is not an easy task when brewing itself is really hard. So I immerse myself in learning and understanding how coffee brewing and extraction works. From my learning, I found that channeling is the biggest problem to why brewing is hard. So we need to understand what is channeling, why it happens, what impact does it have on taste, and how does it affect coffee brewing. So first things first, channeling is a condition where there are empty spaces or materials with lesser mass than the coffee within the same environment. So water will bypass the coffee instead of going through and extracting flavors. This will dilute the beverage, resulting in a weak, watery, and unpleasant tasting coffee. Secondly, channeling also causes inconsistency because in a single brew like this, there are gaps between millions of coffee particles. So channeling could happen anywhere and anytime. This is why each brew is always a little different from one to another, even with the same coffee, same technique and recipe. This is why I spent the last 5 years designing a product that will help me achieve just that. I present to you SD1. I designed the inside to be completely flat, so there will be zero gap between the filter and the wall. This minimizes channeling because all of the water will go downwards and through the coffee. There are also 3 deep and narrow channels that provide just enough airflow, because without proper airflow, there will not be consistency. This combined feature allows me to achieve longer contact time with less agitation and smaller number of pores. The result is a coffee that is sweet, rich, without overwhelming attributes in the mouthfeel and aftertaste. Now, let's move on to brewing. The recipe for today is 13 grams of coffee to 210 ml of water. This ratio makes 180 ml of beverage, which is just the right amount for you to enjoy throughout different temperatures. I do 3 pours with 35-second interval between each pour, and aiming for a brew time of 2 minutes and 20 seconds. This combination provides good balance between the sweetness and the mouthfeel. Coffee was roasted 3 days ago to an Acton number of 90 to highlight the aromatics. Coffee that is this dense, roasted this light, requires significant energy to extract flavors. That is why I'm using water with 100 TDS at 93 degrees. The water has equal parts of magnesium and calcium to give good balance between the flavors and acidity. And lastly, I will let the dripper sit until I'm ready to serve before removing it to preserve the aromatics. And now, while we wait, let me walk you through the tasting notes. The aroma, medium plus intensity, with notes of magnolia, ginger candy, and brown sugar. The flavors are always surrounded by a sweet and delicate floral notes. When it's hot, medium intensity of grapes, and apples. And as the temperature cools, medium plus, so it's just slightly above medium, with notes of sweet tangerine, ginger candy, and bergamot. The aftertaste, it is medium length at first. Reminds me like grapes, just like the flavors. As the temperature cools, it becomes longer with floral quality like orange blossom, citronella, and ginger. The acidity starts slightly below medium, delicate like white grapes. And as the temperature cools, increases a bit to medium, bright and lively like lime and pink grapefruit. The sweetness is my most favorite part of this coffee. It starts medium intensity with fructose quality, then increases to medium plus with additional sucrose quality. So the sweetness starts fruity like orange. Then as it cools, sugar notes comes out as well. Reminds of me like sugar cane. And lastly, the mouthfeel. The mouthfeel is just right and makes this coffee whole. It has slightly below medium intensity, but the texture changes. It starts just smooth, then becomes juicy, but still smooth. And when it's cold, it's tea-like and rounded. The intensity is all the same throughout different temperatures. Okay, now I will serve you the decanter. Please evaluate only the aroma by lifting it, give it a good swirl and smell it directly. When you're done, just put it back and I'll serve you the coffee later on. Here you go, please enjoy. Here you go, please enjoy. Here you go, enjoy. Okay, excuse me guys, can I take the decanters? Excellent. Excuse me. So last but not least is the coffee. The coffee that I'm using today is a blend of two very different and contrasting coffee, but combined they create something truly unique. Both coffee comes from Colombia. 80% comes from Finca Micapa, a natural geisha, and 20% a natural Eugenioides from Finca Immaculada. For me, this is really the perfect cup of coffee that I want to share with my customers. Coffee with distinctive flavor notes, but most importantly, thoughtfully brewed. Now, I have prepared special cups for you to enjoy this coffee. The shape of the cup will enhance your perception of sweetness and mouthfeel, while the material holds temperature really well, giving you an overall pleasant drinking experience. Judges, I will finish my presentation shortly. You can take your time to evaluate these coffees, but please don't forget to enjoy them as well. Here you go, please enjoy. And here you go, please enjoy. Here you go, please enjoy. Thank you, judges. That is my time.